You're listening to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, created to help you succeed in your Cloud Plus certification journey. Learn more at baremetalcyber.com, where additional prepcasts, books, and training materials await. Let's get started. Patch rollbacks are a critical safety net in cloud operations. Even well-tested patches can introduce unexpected problems, and when they do, a rollback is the fastest and safest way to restore service. A rollback refers to the process of reverting a system to its previous, stable state after a patch or update causes degradation, instability, or outright failure. In cloud environments, this often involves restoring a snapshot, redeploying a previous image, or reapplying infrastructure code that defines the earlier configuration. Several conditions can trigger a rollback. These include visible service outages, severe performance issues, compatibility problems with other systems, or direct feedback from users reporting failures. Rollbacks may also be triggered by automated systems that detect anomalies in system behavior after a patch is applied. These triggers are essential in identifying when to revert before further damage or data loss occurs. Post-patch issues might arise immediately or only under load or certain usage conditions, which is why monitoring and validation are essential. Preparing for rollback must be part of any patching plan. A team should never deploy a patch without having a clear, tested method to revert. Preparation includes creating recent backups, snapshots of running systems, and version-controlled infrastructure definitions that allow fast redeployment. Teams must also maintain versioned application and system images so they can restore the exact working state. In cloud-native environments, tools often support creating snapshots automatically as part of patch workflows. Manual rollbacks involve operators performing a series of documented steps to restore a previous state. These steps are typically recorded in a rollback playbook or attached to the change request. Manual rollbacks are useful for more complex or interactive systems, but are slower and prone to human error. Automated rollbacks, on the other hand, are triggered by monitoring systems that detect failed deployments or unresponsive services. These mechanisms can dramatically reduce downtime by acting quickly, without waiting for human intervention. Versioning and rollback go hand in hand. Systems must have accurate version control in place for software, containers, infrastructure, and configurations. Without version tagging and audit logs, it becomes difficult or impossible to know which version to revert to. After a rollback is completed, it is important to test system health and application behavior to confirm that services are once again stable. This verification step prevents a rollback from becoming a silent failure. Patch policy enforcement ensures that only authorized and properly reviewed patches are applied. These policies define what versions are allowed in production, who can approve patches, and under what timelines updates must be installed. They also specify the required rollback planning and success criteria for deployment. Cloud Plus candidates must recognize that patch policies are not optional. They are critical for governance, risk control, and compliance readiness. The n-1 policy, or n-1, is a common model in patch management. It allows systems to remain one version behind the latest release. This approach provides time for testing and avoids introducing the very latest patch, which may not yet be proven stable in production environments. The n-1 model strikes a balance between staying up to date and avoiding risk from early adoption. Cloud Plus scenarios may ask candidates to determine if an n-1 approach is appropriate for a given risk profile. Skipping rollback planning is one of the most dangerous mistakes in cloud patching. If a patch fails and there is no tested recovery method, teams may scramble to debug while customers suffer from outages or degraded performance. These delays are preventable. Many real-world incidents, including those referenced in exam questions, are the direct result of skipping rollback preparation or misjudging the complexity of recovery. Cloud-native tools support rollback in multiple ways. For example, AWS provides Amazon machine images and snapshots for fast instance restoration. Microsoft Azure supports snapshot-based rollback via Recovery Vault and point-in-time restore for databases. Google Cloud offers instance images and versioning in Cloud Storage and Compute Engine. Additionally, container platforms allow redeployment of previous image versions. Infrastructure as code tools like Terraform and CloudFormation allow full rollback of environments by reapplying known good states. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Change management plays a direct role in how patch policies and rollback strategies are executed. Every change request related to patching should include documentation about what version is being applied, what systems are impacted, and what rollback procedures are in place. If rollback steps are missing from the change record, the patch should not proceed. Enforcing process discipline through change control systems helps ensure that patches are applied safely and with full visibility for stakeholders and reviewers. Monitoring systems must be integrated with rollback triggers to catch issues as early as possible. When post-patch health checks fail or performance degrades below defined thresholds, these systems can initiate alerts or even start an automatic rollback. Dashboards should present a clear picture of post-patch status to help operators decide if intervention is required. Patch windows must include rollback timing as part of the overall response objective to reduce the length and impact of service interruptions. Compliance frameworks often define patch timing and rollback limitations. For example, if a patch is required within 30 days of a critical vulnerability disclosure, a rollback cannot leave the system in an unpatched state for longer than that compliance window. Rollback must be fast, deliberate, and not expose systems to prolonged vulnerability. Additionally, rollback events must be documented, with timestamps, affected systems, and results included in audit trails to satisfy regulatory review. When rollback is initiated, communication becomes just as important as technical execution. Operations teams must notify security, support, and business units so that everyone is aligned on the rollback plan. Status updates should be issued at each key stage of the event to prevent confusion or duplication of effort. Poor communication during rollback can result in delayed remediation, misrouted incidents, or conflicting manual interventions that prolong downtime unnecessarily. Tracking patch status and rollback exceptions across the environment is essential for transparency. Dashboards should indicate which systems are fully patched, which were rolled back, and which remain pending. Some systems may be temporarily excluded from patching or rollback due to special requirements, but these exceptions must be clearly documented and justified. The Cloud Plus exam may include scenarios that require identifying whether patch records are incomplete or outdated. Metrics help teams understand the effectiveness of their rollback processes. These metrics include how long it takes to detect a failed patch, how quickly rollback procedures are initiated, and whether they succeed without additional failures. Trends in these metrics can indicate if rollback planning is improving over time or if recurring errors suggest a need to revise procedures. These data points are useful in both compliance reporting and operational retrospectives. Rollback logic should be integrated into deployment and orchestration pipelines. Continuous integration and continuous deployment tools can define rollback steps that activate if deployment checks fail. For example, if application performance drops below a certain threshold or synthetic tests fail, the pipeline can automatically roll back to the last known good version. Kubernetes and similar platforms offer built-in support for rolling update reversal, which helps teams manage complex deployments safely and efficiently. Managing rollbacks becomes more complicated in multi-tenant and multi-region environments. Each tenant may have unique service configurations, compliance constraints, or scheduled maintenance windows. Similarly, different cloud regions may introduce latency or availability differences that affect rollback strategies. To coordinate rollbacks effectively, teams must maintain consistent tagging, version tracking, and configuration enforcement across all environments, minimizing the risk of partial recovery or inconsistent system states. Tags and metadata play an essential role in rollback governance. Each system should include information about the last successful version, current state, rollback eligibility, and ownership. Configuration drift, where systems differ from expected versions, can compromise rollback success, especially when systems revert to mismatched or outdated states. Regular configuration validation ensures that systems remain rollback ready and aligned with current patch policy standards. Ultimately, rollbacks and patch policy enforcement give teams the ability to respond quickly and safely to failure, while maintaining control over versioning and compliance. Professionals preparing for the Cloud Plus exam must understand the tools, triggers, and governance mechanisms that support patch rollback and lifecycle alignment. Without these controls, even the most carefully designed patching strategies can lead to instability, risk, and service disruption. Thanks for tuning in to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, your trusted source for cybersecurity news and insights. Remember to subscribe at baremetalcyber.com so you never miss an update. And visit cyberauthor.me for best-selling cybersecurity books that equip you with expert knowledge. Until next time, stay secure and stay vigilant.